Hi friends, in my previous video we discussed about SnowSQL and Snowflake CLI and what is the difference, everything we covered. But in this video we are going to talk about SnowPark. So SnowPark basically is like a developer framework. It's allow you to process and transform the data using various languages like Python, Java, or Scala inside the Snowflake. So before, like when we use Snowflake, SnowSQL and Snowflake CLI, we are moving the data from external sources like CSV file and loading into table and using stages, and we are moving back the data again. So all this thing correct, but here in this case, right, like programmatically, procedurally, we can use it for data engineering, ELT and ETL pipeline purpose, and do the analyticals of data for and machine learning, everything we can do that. Okay, so that's the main idea behind the SnowPark. Is more advanced way of handling the data in data engineering scope. Okay, so that's why. But and using Python and Java Scala, we can use large volume of data. Uh, okay, so that's a quick introduction about Snowpark. So then jumping into importance, like how does it difference like traditional way of doing it and Snowpark? Okay, so what's the difference like? So here, like I mentioned in the introduction, the complex data processing and machine learning logic, something like if you want to handle without moving the data. So this is really useful and very robust. Okay, so and it will give you more performance advantage, and it will reduce the cost since you are doing everything, and all data analytics activities you are doing within the Snowflake uh, compute, so it will be much faster to get the results, and it will allow the developers and data scientists to familiar this language with a scalable and easy maintainable with better data solutions. Okay, so that's a quick idea. So um, and what is the approach actually here we are using, like it is very like it is it's like in SnowSQL and Snowflake CLI, though it is simple, but it cannot handle the complex data. So the complex logic using the Python, Java, Scala programming approach, we can use large volume of data, difficult data. That is one side of it, and it's more declarative, like a batch script. Everything you can do that, and you cannot define it like for reusability purpose. So whereas like if you jump into Snowpark, like if you write you can define a procedure or use a defined function, and you can reuse that function, and so many ways of handling the procedural approach in better way. So it's like very flexible. So that is the second thing. And again, jumping into with the traditional way, the Snowflake SnowSQL is very limited in handling in programmatical. But whereas it's like a full size program, you can define it like in complete uh, process oriented. Okay, and SnowSQL in sometimes, right, like we can feel very hard to use it, but here it's very flexible. And so coming back, like the data from API, so many APIs that like using and Python itself, like for example, you can define a pandas and a data frame and handle the data. So all these things you can do the data transformation programmatically instead of SQL way of writing it. And like I mentioned before, store procedural approach, like you can define it for data pipelines and reusable, and define a workflow in a better way inside the Snowflake. Okay, so these are the quick approach comparative to the legacy and old way of doing it. Okay, coming back to the use cases. So in the introduction, like I mentioned, more commonly for data engineering purpose like ELT or ETL transformation, writing a complex logic. this is this is very useful. So When you write a ETL or ELT logic, the data validation, cleansing, enrichment, everything you can do it in a more elegant way. Okay, and yeah, so we discussed like reusable data-driven application without moving the data. So like the legacy approach, this is really useful. Okay, and jumping into architecture like Python as a programming language. If you take how the architecture flow will pass on, like starting from the Python, and it will get into Snowflake API. We are going to use it, and it will Snowflake automatically handle through optimize the SQL whatever you are doing, and virtual machine finally it will end up giving the results everything what you intended to do it. Okay, so uh, so the like I mentioned, the SQL automatically optimized in the SnowPark. The SQL is then executed to finally Snowflake virtual warehouse inside the Snowflake engine. So where are already data resides. So this is how the architecture in quicker way of understanding. Okay, this is the quick understanding. Whatever we discuss up to architecture, right? Now the interesting part is like how to install it. So to install it, what we need to do is like we have to use Python, uh, Python 3 pip install Snowflake SnowPark Python. So this is the Snowflake API. You can install it. Since I installed it, I'm not going to do it, but this is the API how to install it. Okay, once sorry, this is the type like. Okay, so once this is installed, how to validate like this? Okay, so what we can do is Python, sorry, Python 3. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is like once it is installed, to validate whether SnowPark is available, SnowPark import session. Okay, so this is the quick confirmation after successfully installing the Snowflake API. So now we have SnowPark is available. That's why the library got accepted. Okay, now we have to build a session. Okay, session dot builder config connection name. I'm using connection name and using the default connection from the SnowSQL, and create. This will create a session. Okay, so once the connection got created, what we can do is we can write, so how many tables inside the connection we can see. Okay, so I have three tables because like I've connected with demo underscore db database. So under that database with public schema, I have 1 2 3 4 5 tables. Let us try to uh, create one data frame now with using this session. So I'm going to create a data frame. Okay, I'm going to use demo underscore user as the use case. This is the table I'm going to use it. Now the data frame got created. Now I'm going to simply show the data from the table. Okay, so this is a quick understanding. So we have installed the API, and we got a confirmation to create a session from the SnowPark. Then we created a session like this connection name like from Snowflake CLI. Already we defined connections, correct? Like from that it will pick up my default connection information already, whatever I defined. From that it will load the information, whatever the demo db user everything, it will create a session. Once the session got created successfully, using that session and trying to use the SQL to show the tables. Okay, once the table got once from the table display, I'm just picking one of the table called demo underscore users and trying to define a data frame. Once the data frame is ready with the data, I'm trying to show the data from the data frame. Finally, once our uh, task completed, you have to release the session from the memory using session close. This will release the memory. That's it. So this is the quick understanding about installation and one small hands-on. Okay, so this is what this is about SnowPark, starting from introduction, importance and approach, whatever we discussed, and use cases, architecture, and how to install, and after installation how to verify the SnowPark availability. Once you validate, a quick understanding about the answer also I gave a quick illustration. Hope this video really helpful for you. Like, if you have any questions, feel free to reach me. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel.